Hello, welcome to GeekyHiJynx, home of the Mischief Makers, and today we're looking at Dead and Beautiful. So another week, another Shudder original, this time Dead and Beautiful, which is a vampire film which is, if most of you know, not my favourite genre because I don't think they can do anything else with it that will interest me, but I'll give everything a go because you never know, it could be the next vampire film to blow my mind that I could tell all of you about, and unfortunately it's not. So Dead and Beautiful is about 5 wealthy friends who are quite bored of their lives. They're very rich, they come from wealthy families, and they have nothing to do with their lives apart from take turns planning exciting adventures at night. And it's during one of these nighttime adventures that they wake up and find themselves with fangs, a dead body, and they find themselves with something money can't buy, eternal life as a vampire. And that's a cool concept because you've got 5 wealthy kids from 5 rich families and nothing's expected of them apart from becoming heirs to their fortune. So becoming a vampire gives them this purpose, this lust for life, something they never had before, an identity. So seeing this, I thought to myself, this could be interesting, this could be a different spin on the vampire genre. Unfortunately, they take a very interesting concept and do nothing with it. So let's go straight into my likes and my dislikes, and I can tell you whether it's worth your time. So the first thing I liked about this film was the soundtrack. As soon as this film began, the first thing I thought was, I like this. This is a nice, dreamy, floating-esque soundtrack. Every time it came on, it's very simple but effective. It's one of those soundtracks make you think, I'm going to see a wicked film here, and unfortunately the soundtrack lied. But either way, the music in this film is very good. And the film looks so good. Like, there's one thing I can say about Shudder films recently, including The Medium, which came out a couple of weeks ago, is this film looks really good. The landscape shots, the hustle and bustle of the streets, the neon lights, it really brings the city to life. And this film's set in Taiwan, in the capital city of Taipei. So every shot in this film, going side to side with the soundtrack, makes you feel like I'm going to get a pretty decent film here. And those are the only things I liked about this film. Now my first issue, and the biggest issue I had, was the film's boring. For many reasons, which I'm about to go through now, but it is boring. I've never chipped my phone more in a film in my life. Nothing happens. If you think you're about to get a film with a bunch of young kids, oh, they're vampires, the bloodlust, they can't control themselves, none of that. This is more like a late 2000s, late 90s, Cruel Intentions-esque type of film with a bunch of moping, whiny, wealthy people, questioning their lives, wandering the streets, talking about being a vampire, but not being a vampire. They're just talking about being a vampire. That's all they do. You feel nothing for the story, nothing for the characters, because there is no story. There's one character, and you see flashbacks to her, and she has a tragic past. Nothing done with it, nothing really explained. They try and be pretty smart with it at the very end, but it's a stupid payoff, and you just feel nothing. I'm not lying to you, I was doing this the entire film. Because nothing happens at all. You think things are happening, like, and then one little funny moment will happen, like they play around with the vampire bits a little bit, where they can't see themselves in a mirror. There's a curved mirror, and they're like, oh, we're vampires, and as they get closer to it, they can see themselves. So they have a little bit of fun with it. But there's like 2 funny moments in this film. The one I just mentioned, which I wish I didn't mention now because you can't enjoy it when it comes up, and the other one was just a funny quote from a very famous and popular superhero film which came out of nowhere. Those got 2 like for me, but nothing else but that. It's also very predictable. My film brain, he was there in full force during this film because he guessed exactly what was going to happen from the very beginning to the very end. They tried to be smart with these twists and little turns and little plot points. I literally guessed them all. I know I say that a lot, not all of them. There's some things I'll never guess, like Gone Girl. Never expected those twists. This one, I guessed them all. The one thing it does, and which isn't a good thing, is it just makes me not like vampire films even more. I love Blade. I love The Lost Boys. I love Fright Night. I love Salem's Lot. I don't really like anything else because they're all the same. And this one tried to be different, but it was just boring. Like I said, you feel like watching mopey teenagers walking around the streets of Taiwan for an hour and a half. You'll love this film, but for me, I was ready for it to finish. I was begging for this film to finish. Overall guys, this is an interesting concept, not executed well at all. It looks beautiful. I love the sound design. I love the soundtrack. But everything else, the characters, I couldn't care less. The story, there isn't really a story apart from moping young people in their early 20s, mid 20s with a bit of money behind them, moping, talking about being a vampire, but not being a vampire. And the twists and turns, for me, very predictable. So I wouldn't recommend this film at all to anyone unless it sounds interesting and unless you love vampire films. I want to watch every single one known to man, then go for it. But I can't recommend this. It's a waste of time. And if you're just waiting for your microwave meal to pop in, that's more entertaining than that film. So on that note, I'm going to give Dead and Beautiful 1.5 out of 5 geeky coins. It also gets a one-time spin and a mobile moan. So guys, that was my review of Dead and Beautiful. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it a snooze fest or the greatest film you've ever seen? Come right to the comments to let me know, because I genuinely am interested. And if you like this video, drop me those likes because it always does help. But until next time, stay out of trouble.